What's up, everyone? It's Tito back with another video for you all. And this one is going to be 30 things that I've learned in 30 years. I don't know if you know this, but obviously by the title and what I just said, I'm 30 years old. So this video is kind of like what I would say to my younger self, I guess. So let's jump right into this. Number one, you're going to lose friends. But the real ones are the ones you can come back to months later or years later and still have that connection with. The next one is health. Your health is very important, and if you follow my channel and you know me, you know I'm going to say it, holistic health. That's something that I focus on now, and I think it's very important, and there's going to be some more tips in my 30 things. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, but yeah, your health. Something that I was told when I turned 25 was that at the age of 25, after that, it gets harder to lose weight, and it gets harder to change your body. So before 25, do what you need to do. So at 25, that's when I really started getting into stuff, really started working out more and doing stuff like that, because, I mean, it made sense to me. And as you get older, your body doesn't do things that it used to do, and it takes longer to do things, or, you know, you need to stretch, and you need to, just get your workout on, do what you need to do to stay healthy and stay well in all areas of your life. Number 3 would be actions speak louder than words. We should all know this by now. Do not trust someone's words and their words alone, especially if you don't even know that person. If you do know that person, then you probably already know that their words mean nothing unless it's backed up with action. 4 would be to give, and give some more. And I've heard this a lot from other people who are more successful than me. Heard this from people who don't really have much, but they still love to give. You need to have a giving heart. I'm going to be really working on that this year even more. I'm going to go back to the farm and start putting more time into volunteering there and just giving in all ways that I can give. One big goal of mine ultimately, would be to have a charity of my own and give in a certain specific way that I want to give. That takes me into number 5 of these things that I've learned, which is that material things are nothing, okay? You put value to these things and that's it. I mean, yeah, they help this and they help that or whatever it is, but in the end, what you need is food, shelter, water, warmth, or, to be cool, to where you're not going to pass out or anything like that. Those are basic needs. You only need your basic needs. You don't need anything else. So all this other material stuff is not needed. Okay? It's things that you get and you want them and stuff like that. Don't be selfish. Don't be rude to your parents or family or whoever it is because they won't get you something or whatever it is. I mean, look at these other people around the world who are living in this time that we're living in that have nothing at all. They don't even have some of their basic needs. Okay, you are living in luxury right now, especially if you have heat in your home, if you have AC in your home, you got food stocked up in your refrigerator, and you're just throwing trash away like it ain't nothing. Okay? Be grateful and understand that these material things are nothing, especially when they can be taken away like that. And this is why I like to focus on living a more simpler life, because these material things will get you caught up a lot of times. That's why people are greedy. Why else would they want a lot of money? Because they want to get material things. They want to get that nice new car and stuff like that. And I have nothing against wanting certain things when you're at a certain level and you can afford that and you're not putting it on credit all the time. But when you're worshiping material things, then that's a problem. When you're upset because someone won't get you something that's material and it's not needed, and it's not food or water, that's a problem, and you need to check yourself. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my hair. It's growing. I'm trying to grow the top out and just like have the top long and all, but it's getting to the point where I don't know what to do with it. But yeah, so number 6 is going to be time speeds up when you get older. Or at least it feels like it. Maybe it's our perspective changes on time, and so we feel like it speeds up. Because it's like, why is it different when you're a kid? And kids are here with us now, and it's their time. They probably don't feel like time speeds up. Other than when they're having fun, which is why they say when you're having fun, time flies when you're having fun. But normally when you get older, like, time just feels like it's just flying by. Like, a year just went by like that. Like, what the heck? Like, I was in Arizona and Tucson, knowing nothing of what was going to go on this past year, that I would even be in Texas or anything like that. And then all of a sudden in the year, here I am now, like it's crazy. So yeah, I think like maybe around like between 21 and 25, that's when you kind of start to realize that time is speeding up on you, and you start noticing more things, and you're coming into your identity or whatever it is. And then after 25, it's like it starts to speed up even faster. And as you get older, you just feel like it's going faster, especially I'm sure if you have kids and you see them growing. But it's just crazy. You feel like time's going faster. So appreciate the time that you have now and where you're at. Use what you have. Enjoy that time. Be in those moments. Okay, because it will feel like when you get older that it's going faster and you don't have enough time to get stuff done. So enjoy where you're at. Okay, now this is a warning to the guys, because I know some guys are, although you're older and you've dealt with other women and you know about women stuff and it freaks you out for some reason, but it's what brought you into this world. I'm going to talk to the women here, and something that I recommend that I wish they would have had when I was younger, but here we are now as they continue to develop stuff. But I find that the cup, the Diva cup, that's like the brand name that people know of, but just a cup, it's a silicone cup. That is, I love it. I mean, I wish I would have had that when I was younger, especially playing sports and stuff. I don't know, it's just more comfortable than a tampon, and just easier for me. So I recommend that. But some people don't like that type of a thing. But I mean, they have a lot of stuff out there now. Like they have underwear with pad stuff in it or whatever. I don't really know about all that. I know I've seen the videos before of them advertising it. But yeah, find what works for you as far as that. There's so much out there now that's changed that you shouldn't be doing just the basic old thing and not knowing anything about that. Which will take me to my next one, which is know your body, know how it works, know how it reacts, pay attention to it because it tells you when it needs things. That's a part of the holistic side of things that I talk about. Paying attention to your body. I believe that your body can heal itself from a lot of things. Maybe it needs assistance from other stuff, but it can heal itself. I mean, you get cut and it seals itself back up. What the heck? I mean, regrow hair, we regrow nails. Like, you don't have to do it consciously. Like, it just happens on its own. So yeah, like figure your body out, understand your body, figure out how it works, understand all the different parts. If you're a female, understand how all that stuff is, hygiene and all that stuff. If you're a male, same thing, understand how your body works, figure it out. Don't just fly off and just keep going because nobody talked to you about it and you're just going to keep going. No, understand how these things work. And there's a lot of information out there now, so there's no excuse. Figure out your body, pay attention to how it works and how it reacts to things. And work on your hygiene. So the next one, I've lost count already, but make your own stuff as much as you can, especially if you're younger. Start to learn this stuff and write it down or print off some stuff and keep a little notebook. And this is something that I'm going to be working on my other channel, is making my own natural products and homemade stuff, homemade remedies, homemade hygiene products, things like that. Homemade cleaning products and stuff like that. Because one, you don't know what's in that stuff that you're buying. Yes, it's cheap and it's fast and it's easy, but that's all that our stuff is nowadays. That's all that our food is nowadays, cheap and easy and quick. But I don't want that around me, and I don't want that in me a lot. I resort to it sometimes, because I'm human, but I'm trying to be more conscious of that, which is why I'm taking these steps to do this. But I highly suggest figuring out how to make your own laundry detergent. And you can do it in bulk. And the thing is, when you do that, when you make this stuff, because you have to buy the certain products and it leaves a whole lot left over, you're going to save money because you have bulk items and you make what you need and then you continue to make it. So you get like 3, 4, 5, 6, batches of whatever it is that you're making for the price of just buying those basic things, And so over time, you're going to save a whole lot of money. So I would suggest looking into that. Maybe it's your deodorant, maybe it's your hair products, maybe it's your laundry detergent, your cleaning stuff, whatever it is. Look into making your own stuff. So the next one would be support your local and small businesses. So if you can't do that last one where you make your own stuff, or it's just too much going on, you don't really want to do it, or you don't trust yourself, whatever it is, there are small businesses and local businesses that make that stuff for you. Okay, do a little Google search. There's some that have social media accounts nowadays and stuff like that. But or you go to farmers markets and things like that, and there are people that are making natural homemade stuff, all of that stuff that I just listed off, and you're going to be supporting your local community, and that money just keeps circulating back into your community, and that's what you want. You want to support those small businesses in those local communities. And also kind of taking a little bit from making your own stuff, because you would have to buy kind of in bulk as far as the different products that you would buy. I would suggest, and this goes into like van life and stuff like that, and just traveling, buying in bulk. But obviously when you're living in a small environment, you can't have a lot of bulk stuff. But the bulk I'm talking about is mainly like with food, as far as the van life type of a thing and traveling. Buying from those bulk sections in your store. Hopefully you're going to stores with those bulk sections where, you know, it has like the little drop down thing and you fill up a bag and you put it on a scanner and type it in and stuff like that. That's the type of bulk food I'm talking about. If you can go to places like that, it actually saves you money, and you can get very healthy stuff, fresh stuff from there, and it's cheaper than buying a packaged thing, and you don't have to deal with the packaging of those other stuff. You know, you have a container for your rice. You bought bulk rice, you pour it in that container. You don't have any packages to deal with, no trash to deal with, and it was cheaper than buying off the shelf, and it's better for you normally. So on the van life type of topic, we're going to stay on there. So another thing with that is to keep your van and yourself clean at all times. I mean, that could be common sense for most people, but when you're living in that lifestyle and you're doing a lot of stuff, you can just let things go. But it's such a small space that you want to keep that clean at all times. Keep stuff and have the stuff in its place so that when you have to pull off, you don't have to keep trying to get stuff together. And also, if somebody looks in your window, it doesn't look dirty and like you're, you know, gonna go rob somebody or whatever it is. Like, it actually looks clean and neat, especially if the police come or anything like that. You actually look presentable. When you step out of the van, you don't look like you know, you have nowhere else to go and you've been bumming for a while, panhandling on the side of the street. You know, because some people don't like that, especially when you're in their neighborhood, and they'll call the cops on you. So you don't want that to happen. You want to eliminate that stuff from happening. So you need to be presentable, and you need to keep your living space presentable. And not just for that, for other people, but for yourself, because of health issues, especially living in a small space. Like, moisture issues can happen real fast. Just leaving stuff sitting out can happen real fast, and it can start to stink it up and all kind of stuff. And you just need your health to be good too, because I'm sure you don't want to have to pay expenses of going to the hospital. So keep a good, clean environment when you're a nomad, especially living in a vehicle. And with that, we're going to go into the fact that if you want to live the van life or something of that sort, and you want to just jump into it and you're ready to go, I would just suggest, this hair is kind of crazy, I would suggest getting the necessities first. Don't focus on building out this extravagant thing, or I need this and I need that and I need this and it has to be like this and I got to paint everything. Don't focus on that. Focus on your necessities. What do you need? Okay, this is for the people who just want to go and do it and they want to keep putting it off any longer. Okay, just get your necessities. What do you need? You're going to need hygiene stuff, the toilet type of thing, emergency toilet. You're going to need food. You're going to need a place to sleep. So you need your covers and stuff, especially depending on the weather and what season it is. Are you going to need a little heater? Are you going to need more sleeping bags, or, you know, wool, or whatever it is? You need clothes. Get the necessities first, and boom, that's all you really need, and you can build it as you go along. But of course, that's if you're ready to just go and get it done and get to moving. But, you know, for the ones who don't mind putting it off longer because you want a nice build and things like that, of course, that's different. But if you want to just jump into it, hey, more power to you. Have you some money in the bank, but throw your stuff in there, the necessities in there, some food, a good food supply, at least for a few days, your clothes, something to sleep on, and then as far as hygiene, that type of thing, and then you're good to go. Oh, and make sure you have insurance too, and roadside assistance. And maybe if your insurance has roadside assistance, that's even better. Another one for you all nomads, van dwellers, or perspectives in those areas is to test it out first before you jump and go cross country. Test it out. Go to some parks in your area. Find places you can sleep overnight, whether it's outside of your own home or outside someone else's home, which I would prefer for you to do it somewhere that you don't normally stay at, because then it makes you feel like you're not at home, you know what I'm saying? And it gives you more of that experience that you're going to have on the road. So if you can go to a Walmart around your area, if you can go somewhere that's 24 hours around your area, if you have somebody's house that you can park outside of that you don't really stay at normally, or just go to a campground or something like that, test it out, see if you like it, and then you're going to get a feel of your van too and what you need to change. So yeah, I suggest testing it out first. And I said this already, but I'm going to make this even bigger tip, is your hygiene in your bathroom. That is like one of the most important things I feel like when living that lifestyle on the road, because one, you're gonna have to go, and if you're not a guy, because sometimes guys have it easier because you can really just, you know, pull it out and pee somewhere. Girls normally have to pop a squat, or you know, they have the little contraptions that you can use as well, but it's a bit harder to do it without making a mess and stuff like that, and then the cleanup afterwards and all that stuff. So really figure out your system as far as that goes, and as far as showering, if you have a gym membership, or if you use a sponge and water and you just heat it up in your stove, the water in your stove, or whatever it is, you need to figure out your hygiene situation and get that straight first. And that includes your bathroom situation as far as showering and how you're going to use the bathroom. And brush your teeth and wash your hair and all of that stuff. So figure that out. The next one, again, I kind of hit on that, and the other one is I guess temperature regulation. I guess that's how I would say it in a few words. So if you live in a cooler climate, how are you going to keep yourself nice and comfortable? If you're living in a warmer climate, you know, how are you going to keep yourself cool? That type of a thing. You need to think about that, especially if you're traveling from one place to another and you're not used to that environment. You know, and the seasons change. So when it gets hot in the summer, especially when you get more to the south and you're hitting 100 and something degree weather, how are you going to stay cool in your van? So you need to think about those things. Do some research on that. Get you some cooling towels, get you some fans, if you can get an AC in there, or whatever it is that you need to do to get that set up as well, because people have died in the heat and they've died in the cold. So you need to be prepared for those type of things. This is my last one that I'm going to have for like van life. But it's, again, preparation is preparing for your trip. Now, everybody's situation is different. I'm going to have another video on van life in general and my perspective on it, and again, why I like doing that and stuff like that. But some people were forced into the lifestyle and some people chose it. But if you chose it and you're planning a trip and you're planning on getting from point A to point B or whatever it is, I would suggest researching and planning your trip out. Doing the preparation ahead of time so that you're not on the road, you know, 2 a.m, it's dark and you're in a place you don't know and you're trying to find a truck stop to stay at or something like that. Rather not be in those situations. So do all you can in advance as far as that. You know, find the different places along your route and that you can stay at and put them on your route, and then have your route planned out. Of course, you can go off route a little bit, come back on. Of course, that can happen, but having some sort of plan, you know, just in case, is a good idea. I'm also going to do a video on that, and I've recorded it before, but I just haven't put it out, where I'm going to do a screen capture of me planning a road trip and how I did that when I went from Virginia to Colorado, and from Colorado down to Arizona. I did the same type of a thing where I planned out my route and I printed it off and I had it all organized in a certain way to help me know where I could stay in those areas. So I had options and things like that. So I'm definitely going to do that video soon. Okay, so we're going to move more into, as you get an adult, what are some things that I've learned. One is that, like, any style change that you do to yourself, or like, you know, what your fashion is, or whatever your style or your vibe is, people are going to put you down for it, or they're going to laugh at you, or they're going to look at you like you're crazy, and they're going to say certain things about you. So it's going to happen. You can't base your value and your worth off of other people's opinions. You know, you need to know what your worth and what your value is, and what your interests are. So like when I got these glasses, I had someone laugh at me to my face, and they thought they were fake. Also, when I cut my hair, of course, I have my long hair. Of course, everybody loves long hair and blah, 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 blah. Oh, they don't have to deal with it. But, you know, I had certain people say certain things about it and stuff like that. Of course, the way I dress has gotten attention and negative attention. Just all different kind of things, especially when I went into the van, that type of decision. You're going to have people, especially family members, friends, all that different type of stuff, people online, social media, especially if you put that out there, who talk about you and say stuff about you. But again, that's their opinion, and you have to know that your worth and your value is not up to them. You have to know what your worth is. Next one is you have to make sure that your mental health is in check first. Like they say, when the mask comes down when you're on a plane, then you need to put your mask on first before you can put it on to your child or onto the person next to you. Because how can you help someone else if you are not healthy, if you are not going to be capable to do it? Like, how are you going to help them if you're not even good? You know what I'm saying? So you need to make sure that you're in check first before you can help someone else, before you can do anything else. So make sure your mental health is good, because that will affect your other areas. Another adult thing, and you see a lot when you get older, a lot more. Of course, you're going to see it when you're younger, because if you're like a teen and your body's changing and things like that, it's like this whole life's going to end thing because people are picking on you because you're acne or whatever it is. Although everybody gets it, or almost everybody gets it. But it's that when you get older, people focus more physically. They've had babies, or they just get older and guys start losing hair or receding hairlines, or you're starting to get that bulge and it's not going away and it's harder to get rid of, like I said before, and things like that. And so we focus more physically and we put our value on our physical selves, and then that's when we get that low self-esteem and stuff like that. We start telling ourselves this craziness of what other people think of us. But just remember, it's not physical. Your value is not physical, no matter what anyone says to you. Okay, it's deeper than that. And then also, you can't just focus on the physical. It doesn't change everything. Okay, yeah, if you make yourself look thinner, or now you got your six-packs, abs, that's cool. But guess what? You're still in debt. You still aren't in a relationship, or you're in a horrible relationship. I mean, you're still eating unhealthy and you feel bad. Just stuff will still happen and still be bad. It's not going to be a one-time fix-all type of a thing. So your why cannot be just to be a physical thing, to be more attractive physically. It can't just be that, because you're not going to be satisfied in the end. Like, yeah, if you've made your goal and you've gotten nice and fit stuff, that's awesome, that's good. But if you only value yourself off of that, then you're going to be disappointed in the long run. So don't value yourself off of just your physical side of things. Again, the holistic thing that I talk about incorporates all of that, your physical, your mental, your spiritual side of things, all together. It all works together. So when you do work on your physical side, it does affect your mental side, but you also have to eat good, and you have to keep your environment good around you. Get rid of those negative thoughts and that bad self-talk that you have to yourself, and work on the spiritual side of things. It all works together. But if you only focus on one thing, it's not going to change your whole life. You're not going to be satisfied in the end. So try not to focus on just the physical side of things. Another adulting thing is the financial side of stuff. Nobody really wants to talk about it that much unless you got the money to do it. But if you're lower middle class, whatever you are, then you don't really want to deal with the finances. You're probably living paycheck to paycheck. But as an adult, you have to address that stuff. You have to put that in the forefront and see if you can make some changes. Like, how can you save? How can you sell things to start saving? Whatever it is to make a change. If you haven't hit that point yet, student loans are killers. They will get you. You cannot go file bankruptcy with student loans. It's like the only thing you cannot file bankruptcy on to get cleared. So think about that as far as getting student loans and everything like that. Just the financial side of stuff. I'm going to be really focusing on that a lot more this year. That's one of my main focuses, is becoming more financially literate, and just making things happen on that side of stuff, to be a bit more comfortable and have a sustainable lifestyle. So wherever you are now, try and work on like a budget. Keep yourself on a budget, figure out where you can cut stuff, your spending habits, or, if you're doing good, you're doing good. So you already know that. But if I was to talk to someone that's younger than me, check out the student loans, talk to some people about that. I don't really suggest it. you know, and I'm more on the level right now of if you don't have the cash right now to pay for it, then you can't afford it. So I'd rather not do credit. That's why I haven't gone out and bought a van off the lot, because now I'm paying on that, and you know, things happen, and I don't really want to be caught up in that right now. So we're gonna see what happens as far as that. But yeah, I would rather just be able to pay cash for it, and if I can't pay cash, then I can't afford it. So that's all I got for that. And of course, this one that I'm going to say next should be self-explanatory with my lifestyle, but simplify. I believe your environment affects you, and if you have all this clutter and all this stuff around you, and you're basing value off of this stuff, your value off this stuff, your value off those shoes you're wearing, your clothes you're wearing, and that's it, again, this physical side of things, then you're not going to be happy in life. I mean, that stuff's not going to bring you happiness. And I believe that simplifying, living a more minimalistic lifestyle, helps to clear your mind, and it helps to give you more direction and to see what your priorities really are, and to do things that are more important, because now you're not working to just buy more shoes. Now you're working for money to go travel, or you're working for money to go have other experiences or different things like that that have a bit more value as far as your mental health and your emotional health than, you know, buying some new shoes. But again, hey, it's your prerogative. You do what works for you, but I think living a simpler life is better, because again, it just cuts out all that extra stuff, because if something happens and all your stuff's gone and now you're like devastated and all this stuff happens, but if you keep it a bit more simpler, then it's not as much of an impact to you, and then also you don't have to deal with getting rid of a lot of stuff too, you know. But I don't know, I just feel like it puts me in a better mental state, helps me keep my priorities, because then I don't have to focus on all this other stuff and cleaning all this stuff and all this extra stuff that you gotta deal with. So keeping it simpler, I think it just helps. All right, we're on the home stretch. Just got a few more for you all, but this next one is stop overthinking things. Okay, I know I still deal with it sometimes, but I've been paying attention to it a lot more. I read the book The 4 Agreements last year. It was recommended to me by a few people on here, but definitely a good book, and it talks about assumptions. And yeah, I mean, it really gets you nowhere. So just don't overthink things. Like you start overthinking things and you're worrying yourself, or being fearful about stuff, or start having negative thoughts because you think somebody's thinking something or whatever it is. And in actuality, they're probably thinking something completely different, but you're over here stressing yourself out about it. For what? For what? Can you change it? No. So, you know, better to not overthink it. Okay, so yeah, overthinking just breeds assumptions, and that doesn't help anything. And that kind of goes with this next one, which is go with your gut, with your instinct. So there is a difference between assumptions and instinct. Okay, it's not the same. When you make assumptions, you think you're good because you're making assumptions. You're not. Stop trying to convince yourself of that. Assumptions are not good. Your instinct, having an instinct and your gut feeling is different, okay? Look it up. Try and figure it out for yourself. But having a gut instinct kind of helps you fill out situations. It helps you fill out certain people. But when you're just making an assumption just off of something else, that's a whole different thing. So try and exercise the difference between the two and figure that out. Okay, so use your gut instinct more and not your assumptions. And here's another one to go with my holistic lifestyle. And my suggestion is essential oils. I don't know. I've just been really into them a lot lately, and last year I really got into them. They help me to relax, and they also help me, like last night I had a headache, start smelling a little eucalyptus, and that helped me a lot. I put it on the bed at night, and I have diffusers. I have one up here, I have one downstairs, and one in the living room, everything like that. Because I don't know, I think they just help. I'm pretty sure they help. It's like known for thousands of years that herbs and stuff like that help. So yeah, I would suggest some essential oils. I'm going to be talking more about that on my other channel. And of course, I'm going to be talking in blurts about it on here, but, start looking that up if you need to. If you're like having headaches, or if you can't really sleep too good at night, or you need something for, anxiety or relaxing, that type of a thing, look up some different essential oils, or ask me and maybe I can suggest some things to you to try. But, even just like smelling some, I have some here. Here's a little orange. I have some eucalyptus over here too, but I'll smell a little. Some people put a little in their hands and smell it, and that'll really help you calm down faster, clear the headache up a little bit faster. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying this is an end-all be-all type of thing, but it does help, and it could help you, so it's worth the try. My next suggestion or tip or whatever you want to call these is to grow something. Put your hands in some soil, whether that's going and volunteering for a community garden type of a thing, or to grow something on your own. Just grow some herbs like some basil or whatever, some mint or cilantro, whatever it is that you like, some little herbs that you can grow, and then use it in your food, and it makes you feel good. We grow kale too, and that's pretty cool. Make some kale chips or make some salad or whatever it is, and you just go outside and pick it off, and it's free food right there for you. So it's like, why not grow it? And it keeps growing, and it's just good for you to get that vitamin D from being outside, that fresh air, to see something actually growing that you did, and it's good nutrients and stuff for you too. So I suggest getting your hands in the dirt, getting that therapeutic stuff going on, and grow you something. Which moves me into the next one, which would be to get outside, especially get outside of the city. If you live in a city or near the city, get outside of it. Go camping, go hiking, go out in nature, away from all these zooming cars and all that smoke and smog and all this stuff that happens around a city. Get outside of that, and take some time. Take a weekend. Take just a day if you can. Only do that. Just go out and be out there by yourself or with whoever it is you're with, and just have a nice, relaxing, calm, disconnected time out there. Nature really helps. It's very therapeutic. It can help clear your mind. It's just good all around. So I highly suggest doing that. Go do a little camping or something like that, but not just camping around a whole lot of people, but like getting out there and having a little bit of separation between you and the next person, just so you can actually have that peace and quiet. With that peace and quiet, what I would suggest is another one is to sit in silence for a period of time. It's up to you, whatever you can do, whatever you feel comfortable with starting out, and then you can upgrade it later. I would say daily. Daily has helped me a lot, but a couple days a week, once a week starting out if you need to, but I would say try to do it a couple days a week starting out, and then you can move up from there and do a little bit more, and you only could do a minute to 3 minutes, or until you get up to 5 to 10 minutes, but just sitting in silence and just like watching nature, or just like you're not looking at your phone, you're not ingesting anything, just sitting in silence, maybe doing a little breathing techniques, something to relax yourself, clearing your mind, meditating on, maybe something that you need to think about or whatever it is, something that you heard recently, and just really thinking deeper into that. Just taking that little bit of time out of your day to do that and get your head on straight really helps. And while you do that, I would suggest being grateful. I've talked about this before numerous times, but after you sit there and you're doing your little mental thing, your little breathing exercise or whatever, then I would suggest spending another minute. You did a minute of that, do another minute of just being grateful. Just, if you need to, if you can't think of anything to be grateful for, just continuously say, I'm grateful, I'm grateful, I'm thankful, I'm thankful. Just over and over and over and over. And while you're doing that, you could be looking around, and then you can just pick out things that you're grateful for. Just basic little things. I'm grateful for the ground we walk on. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful for the grass. I'm grateful for the sun. It's giving me heat right now. That type of thing. Give me light, whatever it is. So doing, a minute, 2 minutes there, every day, I think it is very valuable. And especially if you do it at the beginning of the day, it helps set your day up good. It can set your intentions for the day. And I would suggest that. So I only have 2 left. Thank you for sticking with me this long, but let's get into it. So this next one is, don't let other people steal your power. Okay? We have power inside of us. We have a light inside of us. Don't let people steal your light. That's why I say shine on, because there's a lot of darkness in the world. There's a lot of stuff that can overshadow the light if you let it. But the light is bright, shows the way. It lightens up things for other people to see that there is light in the world. So I'd rather be that, okay, than just let other darkness overshadow everything and never have a light in there. I want to put my light out there, which is why I do what I do. So I want you all to continue to shine on, and that's why I say it at the end of my videos. But let's get into this last one, which is to continue to learn, read, and seek, okay? Always question things. There's no rule in the book to say never question, okay? Always question. I know some people, especially depending on what time that people were born and what they grew up in, they don't like for you to question certain things, and it makes them feel uncomfortable, and it questions their beliefs or whatever it is. But I mean, I feel like that's how any type of advancement has happened, is because we've always questioned, we've always sought after things. I'm not saying like go down a rabbit hole and never return, but I am saying be aware of things, and also whatever it is that you want to learn, whatever skill is that you want to do or use, continue to learn on that. Be a master in whatever skill that is. I like learning. I like knowing new things and trying new things out. And I mean, I see a lot of benefit in that. And I also see benefit in trial and error and learning by doing. And I think that people will do that anyway. You'll tell them not to touch the hot stove, but they're probably going to touch this hot stove just to see for themselves. So, you know, I feel like being an example is good, but people have to do it on their own in general. But I think that instead of touching a hot stove, maybe you can read about why you shouldn't touch that hot stove. Like what happens in that, you know, that situation for the reason why you shouldn't touch that hot stove, that type of a thing. So keep learning, keep seeking, keep questioning things, but don't be stupid. Just be aware. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's all I have for you. That's my 30 things plus that I've learned so far in my 30 years. I'm still young. I know that. And I'm excited about what else I'm going to learn and what else is going to happen in the next few years. So yeah, we're going to see together. I'm going to continue to talk to you about things that I've learned, of course, because that's just what I do. But yeah, thank you for sticking around this long with me throughout this 30 things that I've learned in my 30 years. I know I'm still young. I have a lot to learn. I'm excited about that because, like I said, I like to learn anyway. But what I want you to do is go ahead, give me a thumbs up, give me a like if you like this video, and comment down below and tell me something that you learned in your lifetime, however old you are. Whether it's a quote, something your parents told you, something you've just learned along the way through trial and error and stuff that has happened to you. I love to hear from you. And yeah, I just love it when you all comment. Anyway, so thank you for the ones that comment and talk to me. And subscribe if you haven't already and you're new to this channel, because you don't want to miss out on all the other videos I'm going to come with next. And I hope you join me in the next video too. And those of you who've already subscribed, I hope you join me in the next video and continue to shine on.